तो ये यूट्यूब में भी लाइव हो रहा है, ये अनाउंस कर सकते हैं।
Okay, good morning, participants and viewers, friends and gentlemen. Indian Dairy Association, North Zone, Haryana State Chapter is organizing a webinar on a very important issue, that is dairy products for a healthier world and sustainable industry. On the outset, it is matter of privilege and honor to welcome Professor Dr. G.S. Rajoria, President, Indian Dairy Association, and chief guest of this morning. He will deliver a presidential address. I welcome Shri S.S. Maan, the leading entrepreneur. He is a finance dairy technologist and chairman, Indian Dairy Association, North Zone. He will talk on new enterprising in dairy sector. I welcome very eminent speakers, Dr. R.R.B. Singh, Joint Director Academic, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. Second speaker, Dr. Antanu Jana, Professor and Head, SMC College, Dairy Science College, Anand. Dr. Ashish Kumar Singh, Principal Scientist, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. Dr. Sumit Arora, Principal Scientist, Dairy Chemistry Division, NDRI. Dr. Vikas Chandra Ghosh, Head, Dairy Technology Section, SRS of NDRI, Bangalore. I welcome
आदिल ज्वाइन किया, उसको पूछो, जब देगा आदिल ज्वाइन किया, उसको पूछ लो.
The main person involved in organizing all this setup, Dr. P.N. Raju. He is Secretary of RIDA North Zone, Haryana State Chapter. Now I'll request him and invite him to proceed the organization of all this program. Please, Dr. Raju.
Thank you very much, sir. And on my personal behalf, I welcome you all to this inaugural session as well as the webinar on the theme that Dr. Rajoria has just mentioned. To inform all the viewers, this is being broadcasted live on YouTube also. Now, before we proceed for the speakers, I invite Honorable Dr. G.S. Rajoria, the President of the Indian Dairy Association, for his presidential remarks. Dr. Rajoria, sir, please.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. I am very much delighted to see some of the good friends who could not meet, for some time due to this COVID-19. Somebody remarked, that COVID crisis has been converted into opportunity. This is essentially the main theme of today's webinar. There have been in India, a lot of ups and downs, especially when people started migrating from cities to their native places. There was, some kind of feeling that milk supply position was getting disrupted. But soon the things returned to normal, in spite of the fact that hotels, restaurants, and catering establishments are not fully open yet. But then the milk that was collected from the farmers, largely by the cooperatives, has put us on the right track. COVID has given to research scientists an opportunity to think in a very broader sense. In that, immunity remains the major theme of all our research efforts, not only in India, but all the world over. There has been a growing demand for developing low sugar, low salt, and low fat dairy products. It leaves behind a great challenge before the dairymen of the country as to how we could develop these new products with low salt, low sugar, and low fat. Admixtures of antioxidants improves the immunity. It is a well-known, thing we have to carry forward. Fruits, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices, they all are known to have lot of antioxidative properties. Can we include these ingredients in our admixtures with dairy products to boost immunity? Plant-derived ingredients such as beta glucan are known to give a lot of immunity and health benefits. Recently, the Union government has approved a production-linked incentive scheme called PLI in
याहू में भेजा, मैंने लिंक अभी भेजा.
10 key sectors.
इसको भी बोल देना, प्रसाद और हर्ष को, पटेल.
India's manufacturing capability and exports. Food processing sector has received an allocation of rupees 10,900 crores. Priority sectors are identified ready to eat or ready to cook foods, marine products, fruits and vegetables, honey, desi ghee, mozzarella cheese, and organic poultry products. Processing, as you all know, reduces the wastages and gives better price for the farmers, generates extra employment wherever milk has been produced and processed. In domestic markets, fermented milk products, shelf-stable milk products like UST products and dairy beverages are showing a great traction. There is a huge demand for whey protein-based products in the country. There will be conversion of demand from unorganized to organized production of traditional milk products like khoa, paneer, chana, dahi, lassi, and milk-based sweets. Demand for import substitution products like cheeses, whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, dahi in dried form, caseins, and its derivatives will grow. Greater use of natural flavors. We have been using synthetic flavors in some of these products. So there is a demand for natural flavors like cardamom, saffron, cocoa, coffee. In fact, even some of these spices and the colors which are extracted from beetroot, red carrots, broccoli, spinach, and other spices will find greater use in dairy products. Antioxidants, as you know, help in neutralizing free radicals and prevent heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. There is a need for us to find out new antioxidants so that we can add value to the existing dairy products of this country. Fortified dairy products are getting very big, flip, especially by the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, because they provide a lot of health benefits. The fortification can be done with bioactive peptides, with added vitamins, minerals, to prevent certain diseases like fortification of iron will improve the health of anemic people. vitamin D to prevent the problems in the children of rickets and other skeletal diseases, probiotics, fibers, healthy fats, the 3 omega fatty acids, conjugated linoleic acids have been identified as immunity boosting ingredients, and there is a need for us to do greater research in this area. Organic milk and milk products to ensure safety, freedom from contaminants like heavy metals, aflatoxins, veterinary drug residues, hormones, pesticides, is receiving great attention among the consumers, and therefore there is an extra effort needed for enhancing the organic milk production all over the country. Trans fatty acids are areas which are of great concerns now. These are being generated due to hydrogenation of vegetable oils, and during the frying operations, especially when you are frying starchy food products in oils, trans fats they appear, and then these cause a lot of problems, health problems. There are instances where baked foods, frozen pizza, fried foods like French fries, donuts, non-dairy coffee creamers, and margarine are source of trans fats. Frozen desserts may contain trans fats, but not the ice cream, because frozen desserts are essentially made by using vegetable fats. Acrylamide is another problem of concern. It is reported that acrylamide, which is formed during the frying of starchy foods, may cause some problems of neurotype, toxin type, and they also are reported to have, the formation of cancerous tissues. Nutraceuticals and functional foods are known to protect against the diseases, prevent nutrient deficiencies, and promote proper growth and development. They are essentially supplements, and good work has been done by our research scientists across the country to develop and find out new nutraceuticals for use in dairy industry. Those that provide an extra health benefit to consumers beyond the basic nutrition are essentially called as functional foods. They may include whole grains, oats, barley, fruits, vegetables, and nuts, orange juice, beans, berries. All these foods will reduce the risk of many diseases these days we are facing across the country and the world. You are aware that Government of India has started a scheme on startup support in dairying. This is flagged by the Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, supporting the startups. They have identified 6 areas. One is value addition. Second is elimination of adulteration from milk and milk products. Third is the product traceability. Fourth is single-use plastic alternatives, e-commerce, and the breed improvement and animal nutrition program. This involves a cash grant of rupees 102 lakhs, also incubation to 10 winners, and mentorship master class to all startups. I was given the opportunity to do the mentorship program for value addition and also for elimination of adulteration from milk and milk products. And some of my friends from National Dairy Research Institute also participated with me. This was the Animal Husbandry and Dairying Ministry initiative. Specialty milk and dairy products from goats, sheep, camel, and donkeys will be in demand due to the increased awareness among the consumers about their nutritional and therapeutic significance. Some organized dairies have already started marketing of milk from minor species of mammals, and they have reported reasonable success in this area. Friends, another important development which we are witnessing essentially due to the COVID crisis is online milk delivery system. E-commerce is a business model, and lot of firms and individuals, they engage themselves in buying and selling things over the internet. It operates in 4 major market segments, that is business to business, business to consumers, consumer to consumers, and consumers to business. The activity can be conducted over computers, tablets, or smartphones. Every imaginable product and services are available these days on e-commerce transactions. Considered a very disruptive technology, it is a good substitute for brick and mortar store that we are all used to. It provides a cheaper and efficient distribution channels. And you know, 2 important examples, Amazon and Alibaba. Digital marketplaces such as eBay or HSC sub exchanges allow multitude of buyers and sellers to come together to conduct business. Cyber crimes, please know, are not uncommon in this country and anywhere in the world. Yesterday, one of our Bengaluru friend, and Dr. Rameshwar is here, I'm sure he must be knowing details about this fraud of 54-year Bengaluru man who lost 5.85 lakh crore, 5.85 lakh rupees to the cyber fraudsters. And you know, fraudsters are everywhere. All these issues that I have just mentioned to you are going to receive greater attention by our learned speakers. I wish this webinar a great success and welcome all the speakers and participants to this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we invite our today's speaker, the first speaker, Shri S.S. Man, who is the chairman of the Indian Dairy Association North Zone. On behalf of him, I'll be opening the presentation here. I request Shri Man to start his presentation. I mean, to start his lecture, sir.
Yeah. Good morning to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Good morning to all. Respected Dr. Rogeria, Dr. Kanodia, Dr. R.R.B. Singh, Dr. Arora, Dr. Jana, Dr. Singh, Dr. Ghosh, Dr. Raju, Mr. Jain, Mr. Narang, and other participants. A good morning to you all again. Actually, when you say new entrepreneurship, and when you say entrepreneurship, it's always new, because second time you are a businessman, you are no more an entrepreneur. So, firstly, let us get out of, we must get out of the mentality of clean milk production, quality and price, because if these things are not there, you don't exist. So to start with, these are the products we make. Next slide, please. For a successful entrepreneur, what is required is personal motivation. This means no 8 hours or 12-hour job. It's even when you sleep, your eyes must be open. And very important is, for this, it's a sort of single track mentality. Business, business, business. You can't have half-hearted job. Second is hard work. There's no substitute and everybody understands this. And next is technical know-how. Technical know-how means you must enter into your core competence. If you don't know, people are going to fool you. So take it for granted. Then it has to be, your entrepreneurship has to be backed up by market survey and research data. Then financial sources. Please don't depend on bank. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman, but let me tell you, if you feel bank would come to your rescue in first go, no way. You have to be sure if they come, good. If they don't come, you don't get doomed. So you have to have very good financial muscle. And of course, network development. This is very important because anything you make, you need a network, whether it's marketing or procurement or distribution, that network is very important. Next, please. Now, milk and dairy products benefits everyone. Milk is both a local and global commodity. It is produced and mostly consumed locally, but milk and milk products account for 14% of global agriculture trade. It remains one of the fastest growing sector. Even in some of the countries, though it's negative, but others make it up. It supports livelihood, create jobs, provide nutrition, women and empowerment, especially in underdeveloped or developing countries, and much more. A relatively small and simple diversification into dairy farming can boost both the income and the food security of a family. Several studies have shown a positive correlation between the consumption of dairy products and reduction in malnutrition. Next, please. Yeah. Key to success in dairy industry. Entrepreneurship opportunities are available at both top and bottom of the pyramid. But at the bottom of pyramid, a relatively small and simple diversification into dairy farming can boost both income and food security of a family. The search suggests that rural non-farm sector has emerged as the single largest source of new jobs in the economy, even more than manufacturing and farming sector. It is estimated that 150 million farm households are directly involved in dairy production, along with agriculture production, of course. Next, please. The top of the value chain, a number of the new innovation and entrepreneurship areas are available at top of the pyramid. Cattle health. This is one of the biggest area where a lot needs to be done. As you can see, according to the frontier of bioengineering and biotechnology, in Europe alone, 30 billion losses there due to the cattle health. Improvement in taste. This is, as general, something like why a low-fat milk doesn't taste like a good fat milk. Some of the companies in Europe, they have started making ice cream and it does not have, you can say, frozen dessert, because there it is a bit broad-based. It is as good as a milk-based ice cream. You can't differentiate much. Next, please. Now, top of the value chain, improvement in consumer confidence. This is important. In India, I don't think we are really on it, but the blockchain is the real answer. Blockchain in short is, if you have 10 people on the line and everybody is doing their job, they keep feeding their data, and then second, third, fourth, and so on. And nobody can change it unless there is a consensus from the administrator. So this blockchain will give the confidence to the consumer that nothing is going wrong. I mean, there would be no cooking of any data. Next, please. Yeah, thank you. And now this is what we talk about theoretical. Now I would be telling you something which is practical as an entrepreneur. The key factor is, one, don't follow the herds. We have to be unique. You come with a product like in an NCR in last 4 or 5 years, rather 2 years. There had been 4 or 5 companies who have launched fresh this milk in bottle or pot. Fresh milk, cow ghee, fresh ghee. But ultimately they came very fast and they faded even faster. The reason was no homework, and they had no financial muscle. They had big thoughts, but no financial muscle. Their infrastructure was lacking. If they could compete in one sector of the city, they won't be able to go to the next because infrastructure is lacking. And then they did not realize the competition from the other people. If you have a product which is me too, that means you are selling product, I also join in and I say, okay, me too. Unless there is something special about a new product, people will not be ready to taste or test it. So what is unique is you have to come out with a unique product which is definitely different from the existing product available in the market. Then second part, I would say you have to stand out on features and not price. The best example is nano car. Tata always said that this is the cheapest car, and that became a liability because nobody want to have the tag of a cheap car. You want to have a car, but not a cheap car. So, and that's one of the reason is their own survey and their own analysis that the label of cheap car was the worst for the brand. Then no more conventional SMP or ghee. You have to go for, it is going for ages and it's no more profitable or no more a venture. If you produce SMP ghee or butter or whitener, you are in the queue. The best area which I can foresee is, and worldwide is going, is fortification, whether it's vitamins or minerals. Best example is during the COVID, Amul launched haldi ghee, charna malt. This is called catch the opportunity. Value addition is very important because if you see in Europe, the best example is it used to be flavored yogurt. Then it became fruit yogurt. Then it became pulp yogurt. Then it became fruit preserved yogurt. And now it is a lot of raisin yogurts. So you have to, every day you have to go for the new products which are definitely different and better so that people don't have this fatigue of the brand. And there is no easy path. People are not coming in cheese or ice cream in India because we are more or less risk-averse people. And of course, risk-averse, the main reason is financial muscle. If you have financial muscle, then probably you can definitely bet. I'll give you an example. It's my own example. During the COVID, we did a project which normally takes around 12 to 14 months. We did in 5 months, 3 days. The reason we took this challenge is because we know everybody is sitting idle. What you need is you have to overlap. Call everybody 2 weeks early, quarantine them, and they're straight on the job. And then we had complete staying food arrangement at the site. And we completed a 100 crore project in 5 months and 3 days. It was a record with one of the MNC, just for example. So you have to see the opportunity everywhere. Don't get lost just because there is a COVID, you can't go to hibernation. Then know your strength and weakness. Always enter a field where you know the best. You have your core competence area. Then take a step, consolidate, review fault lines or mistakes, rectify fault line, then take the next step and repeat again, same procedure. Show patience and resilience in tough times. Face and come out shining. Always remember, world is not made for chicken out kids. People will teach you on the way. And very important part I always consider is recruitment of the people. It's a great saying, if you throw peanuts, monkey would come. So don't take monkeys and don't take people whose weight you have to carry on your shoulder because you won't be able to carry on too long because you have got your own weight. Qualification, in my opinion, is secondary. Train people who have got attitude and aptitude. Attitude, aptitude, and qualification. That's the ultimate. But attitude, aptitude is more important than qualification. It's something like you have potential, but you are not ready to deliver or you can't deliver. So it's no use of that potential. Then give free hand to the people to make mistakes. See, that is the price they give. They pay for the learning. Decision making. A strong believer. I am a strong believer in fast decision making. No decision is a wrong decision. If you can't decide, someone will decide and he will take the lead on your behalf. So take care of your people and they will take care of your business. And to succeed, another important factor which I consider is be ready for failure. As per the survey by one of the leading Ivy League management college, 98% of the business fail in first year itself. They fade away. Another 1.8%, they survive barely for 5 to 7 years, but survive, not success. Success rate is only 0.2%. And you see these 0.2%, they are visible and they are the inspiration. But that 99.8% who faded on the way are not seen. See the agony. That's very important. So to succeed, you be ready for a failure. Then product success rate, new product, whatever is launched worldwide. It's not, I'm not talking about variants. Variant is different. It's only an extension of the brand. But new product success rate worldwide is only 2%. Then you must be impatient to implement new decisions. Don't depend on specified gains. This is where I normally say specified gain is something like go to the subsidy area. Subsidy will never come to you when you need it. It will come to you when you don't need it. So that is important. You don't go for the unspecified gains. Then don't go for unspecified liability also. Like people go for variable interest. Today variable interest is low, but the moment it starts jumping, it will jump every minute. So you must not go for unspecified gains and unspecified liability as well. Then the last one is integrity. Please remember, integrity is 0 or 100%. And toughest times test the hard times for all entrepreneurs. Don't get swayed and don't compromise. Ultimately, if you want to be in 0.2% of entrepreneurship, you have to pay the price. Remember, please remember, nothing is free, not even poison. The success has its own cost. You have to pay through emotionally, socially, economically, and physically. From my side, all the best to the new entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your experiences as well as giving the tips for successful entrepreneurship in dairying. I take this opportunity to invite the next speaker, but before that, let me inform the viewers that any questions you have, please drop in the chat box. So because of the time, we may not be addressing each of the questions right now here. At the end, we'll take up some of the questions. Now I invite our next speaker, Dr. R.R.B. Singh, the Joint Director Academics of NDRI Karnal, to deliver his talk on the overview of dairy foods for sustainability. Dr. R.R.B. Singh, sir, please.
Most respected President of the Indian Dairy Association, Dr. G.S. Rajoria, who has been my teacher and probably teacher of to many of us. Respected Chairman of the North Zone of the IDA, Sri Man Sahab, colleagues, all the participants, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you. As Dr. Narendra Raju has just spoken, that I will be delivering a short talk on sustainability issues in dairy industry. And this is going to cover the entire spectrum of the dairy production line value chain. And I will start with production, and then we'll go up to packaging, and then the consumer's perspective as well. So I'll just share a couple of slides and and then subsequently I will start talking to you. Just a moment, sir. Yeah, I think it is visible, Dr. Raju?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, sustainability as such doesn't have any single definition because it changes at the context changes. What we are going to talk or discuss today is about sustainability along in the dairy value chain. Now, this sustainability word is now very common, and every now and then, whenever we meet, we talk of sustaining a system which is already in place. And but way back in 1980s, when United Nations were very concerned, and they thought that probably the entire world should be made sustainable, and they should be made conscious of how we are going to use our resources. And they came up, they set up a commission, and the commission recommendations came, and one of the major definition that came from them was that sustainability is all about meeting needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Whatever resources that we have at our disposal, or we are using at the moment, that must be preserved for the posterity. The future generation must have access to it the way we have access to it now in our times. And therefore, I mean, because they wanted that the entire resources should be made available to everyone without any discrimination. So obviously, sustainable development goals were set. And there was a first phase which came, and then subsequently the second phase came, and now they have set these goals to be achieved by 2030. This starts. There are 17 major goals, and many of them this captures, or these are accessible or can be accessed or addressed through our dairy domain. So this is, see, it starts with no poverty. That means the entire poverty has to be alleviated. Zero hunger, good health and well-being, because this is again related to zero hunger and no poverty. Education of the quality, and then education has to be made accessible to everyone. Gender equality, again, dairy is one of the prime example of how gender equality or gender discrimination can be removed, or gender equality can be achieved. Clean water and sanitation, you are all aware of it, how difficult it is still in several parts of the country, particularly in rural areas, for the people to access it. Then affordability, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, because they say that industry is one of the major reason why greenhouse gases are being produced, and obviously innovation and then upgradation of infrastructure has to be a continuous process so that these contributions to the greenhouse gases could be minimized. Then inequalities has to be addressed, it has to be minimized, and everyone should have access to a good quality of life or quality of living. Sustainable cities and communities, as in the opening remarks, President of the IDA said that the incomes are likely to increase, and therefore affordability will be increased, and therefore access to food. And in the look and in search of livelihood, people are migrating to cities. So urban cities that are being now set up and will be set up in future, that has to remain sustainable, so that all facilities and all access to all resources are available in the times to come as well. Responsible consumption and production, again, this is very important indicator, because whatever we are consuming, waste has to be reduced, foods are to be preserved, and the resources that are going to produce these foods are to remain in the same situation, or the same quality, of the same quality in the future also. Climate action, climate change, and all actions that are targeted at mitigating climate change, that has to be again looked at very collectively. And then life below water, life on land, and then peace, justice, and a strong institution, because institutional frameworks are to be in place. These are in place, but these are to be strengthened so that justice prevails. And because when justice will prevail, obviously it will bring peace and harmony to the people who are living across the border, across the states, across the country. Partnership for the goals. Again, partnerships can achieve many things, and cooperatives are an excellent example of how partnerships can mitigate misery of the people, and how successfully it can meet the challenges of the future. Friends, I will just go to the next slide, because the major 5 domains that sustainability exercise has to address. It has to address the concerns of the planet, which again relates to climate change and environment. People, their livelihood, nutritional security, everything comes in this. Prosperity, obviously, again, it is linked to livelihood and then nutritional security. Peace and partnership, all 5 domains, which are very important, can be addressed by many of the dairy activities. Say, for example, when you look at the planet, and one of the major concerns of the country has been, and probably it will remain so for many more years to come, is the number of animals that we have. We have almost 300 million animals. I mean, last census said that it is more than 300 million cattle and buffaloes. All put together, we are producing 195 million metric tons of milk. This is probably the figures that we have now at the moment. And in contrast to this, United States of America has hardly 90 plus a million animals, and they produce 95 million metric tons of milk. So we can see that the low productivity of animals will continue to be a major constraint, and because of the religious practices and the beliefs that we follow, probably we will not be in a position to reduce these numbers so effectively and so soon. And therefore, at the moment, with these many animals only, we have so much deficiency in terms of green fodder production, crop residues, which are again an important part of animal diets, and then also feeds. So obviously these several new interventions will have to be tried, and then animal nutrition scientists and then other researchers across academia and industry and cooperatives, they're all working on this, and they are trying to overcome these. Because when we look at a situation which we will have to face maybe several years down the line, we will have to be very conscious of this, because these figures, 8.3 million hectares of land that is available for fodder cultivation, this has remained almost unchanged for last several decades. And maybe this is because we do not have accurate data, and government and many institutions have started mapping using satellite the areas which are under fodder cultivation. And obviously in next couple of years, probably we will have precise figure. But nevertheless, what is important to understand is that this is not likely to increase, this is going to come down. And obviously with more number of animals and less area available for fodder cultivation, challenges will be many more. And dairying will have to be made sustainable. If dairying has to be made sustainable, then obviously this particular issue is one of the prime issues that has to be addressed, because almost 90% of the cost on production of 70% of the cost of milk production is accounted because of these feed genetics and breeding interventions with focus on buffalo, because buffaloes are considered probably better converter of crops to milk. And obviously probably in the times to come, people will start focusing more on buffalo. So genetics and breeding will continue to play an important role, because more productive animals are to be brought in the production domain. Improve feed quality, optimizing land resources, these will continue to drive the entire sustainability exercise in the future. And then this is again related to greenhouse gas emission, because we stand at the number 3rd position. The figures that has been provided by FAO and other agencies, this speaks that almost 24% of the total contribution that we make to the greenhouse gases emission because of anthropogenic activities, which results from agriculture practices, forest and other land use exercises. This leads to this much contribution. And animal agriculture, globally, it contributes to around 14.5% of the greenhouse gases. And in India, if you look at the figures, they say that it is almost 52% of the total contribution that comes from this particular domain, agriculture, forest and other land uses, is on account of animal rearing, and 48% is only accountable because of crop production. But these figures are again debatable, because we do not have precise figures. So obviously these figures we need to understand that, okay, we may not be contributing this much. If the precise figures are available, probably things will be different. But then one thing is for sure, that animals are contributing, and therefore there are many interventions need to be tried, and that are being tried in the form of new animal nutrition measures, so that this contribution can be minimized. And then one silver lining here is this, that these figures are again global figures, wherein they say that between 2005 to 2015, globally, almost milk production increased by almost 30%, whereas the net contribution on account of animal rearing to the greenhouse gases increased by only 15%. So this gives us an idea that, okay, maybe because people became aware of these measures, so they started taking some measures, and then obviously this led to less increase in the contribution that we are making to the greenhouse gases on account of livestock rearing practices. Then dairy processing operations, because the entire milk production chain, the entire value chain, when we look at, then primary production appears to be the major contributor, and then comes processing, which is very small. Consider if you look at in the totality, then it contributes far less than the primary production areas. But still, in the times to come, as many of us, even Mansahab has told, and even Dr. Rajoria said, that processing capacity is likely to increase, because there will be more demand for value-added products, and there are targets set for this. Government has already taken several measures, And one of these measures is in creation of infrastructure development fund to the tune of almost 15,000 crores. This is likely to add to new processing capacity, and also this will result in what you call upgradation of the existing facilities. So obviously these put together will create capacities for handle more milk in the organized sector. And therefore, organized sector has to take several measures so that efficiency can be increased and dairy production, entire production system can be made more sustainable. Now, for example, energy is one major area wherein processing interventions technological interventions are required so that savings can be made. For example, at the moment, they say that these figures I have come across that almost 50 million tons of oil equivalents we are using for entire dairy operations at the moment. And there is potential for savings of up to almost 15 to 20%, which is very sizable. And this can be achieved through maybe automation, efficient equipment, optimizing capacity, insulation, better insulation, etc. But more than that, renewable energy use, recycling water, organic waste utilization. These are these are a couple of very major indicators that are to be in place. And probably industry is seized of this. The only thing is that payback period is very long, and therefore investment is required. But then if we want to make dairying sustainable and we want to make effective use of the resources and make foods available to everyone, obviously these things are to be looked at very positively and effectively are to be in place. Then comes nutritional perspective, because livelihood and nutritional security, these go hand in hand. And almost nutrition is highly relevant to 12 of the 17 sustainable development goals. Risk of disease and death, healthcare cost, burden of the families and communities, limits that mean hardships and economic constant that put on educational potential and economic progress. These are all related to nutritional well-being. And it is very important that, these are figures I have just tried to give you because many of you are knowing about these figures, but still you will be able to capture the essence of the seriousness that prevails at the moment. Undernutrition, stunted growth of the children less than 5 years of age. Almost 50% of them are in Asia, 30% of them are in the Africa, and almost 38% of the total such children are in India. Wasted, again, there are almost 20% in India. Overweight, of course, we have very small percentage in comparison to other parts of the Asia or the world, but still this is there. But this is limited to a section of the population which is overnourished. So these all constant, because global hunger index, last year data I could see, it places India at 102 in a list of countries, 117 countries. And the indicators that are used to calculate this index is based on undernourishment data, child wasting, child stunting, and child mortality. So we can see how serious this problem is. And dairying and milk products is one area which can really mitigate the situation, because if it is made accessible to children and infants, then obviously much of this can be addressed. Micronutrient deficiency, because nutrition perspective encompasses both undernutrition, micronutrient deficiency, and then overnutrition. So anemia, vitamin A, iodine, this has improved, but then vitamin D, vitamin B12, particularly deficiency in many parts of the states and many states, it is almost 70 to 100%. So this gives an idea that these areas are very important from sustainability point of view. And if dairy has to remain sustainable, and it can remain sustainable if it is made available, milk is made available to every children in adequate quantity. Now, this is about the quality of products that need to be made if dairy has to remain sustainable. And I will not go into details of this because this has already been discussed and elaborately said by Dr. Rajoria, who said that new product line will have to be continuously evolved. New product portfolio will have to be continuously placed before the people so that they can make choices. And these are some of the areas wherein future dairy products will be aiming at, or very future dairy industry will be aiming at. Now, food packaging, because there is food packaging, why I have chosen here, because processing line, health, you know about this, but food packaging, some new information has come. And that makes us to, enables us to, or that makes us to understand that we should look at the contribution of packaging from a different perspective. Because food packaging, when we say that, as you rightly said, both of you said that food waste reduction is one of the major potential that food packaging has. And therefore, environmental impact of food packaging will have to be reduced in the entire value chain or the entire life cycle of the product. Now, these are some of the areas wherein people have already started working, and they are trying to evolve huge biomolecules which can contribute less to the total carbon footprint creation. And these novel bio-based materials are polylactic acid, starch, cellulose, and many more. Improvement of material performance, that means even now nanotechnology applications are finding place. I mean, because there are molecules which can be impregnated on the existing packaging materials, and the packaging materials could be thin, but it could be still what you call having much more barrier properties and mechanical properties. So, and then optimization of the packaging use. That means how much of the packaging is going for per liter or per kg of the materials that we offer to the consumer. These are some of the important indicators wherein which will find increasing emphasis in the times to come. Now, this is what I wanted to share with you, packaging related environmental impact, because general perception is that packaging contributes a lot to the carbon footprint creation, which is not the fact. Because this has to be, again, now, because earlier people were simply thinking about what contribution it makes, but now they are considering what proportion of contribution it makes in the entire life cycle assessment of a particular product portfolio. Say, role of packaging to overall environment is overemphasized. It is to be viewed product specific. Say, for example, milk and dairy products, because here major contributor to carbon footprint is primary production line. So obviously, first is the major contributor is primary production line. This is followed by processing and then distribution line. Packaging is a very small segment because the major contribution comes from these three domains. That is primary production, processing, and then distribution chain. On the contrary, if you look at vegetable and non-dairy beverages, then primary contribution does not come from, major contribution does not come from primary production, because these are short duration products or crops, and therefore it doesn't require much energy intensive agronomic practices, and therefore lower carbon footprints at the primary production stage. So packaging has to be seen from the perspective of PREI, that means packaging related environmental impact. Now, say for example, this is one case study which I am sharing with you, wherein they have said that, okay, tomato, when it was produced and converted into maybe ketchup, then subsequently when these were packed in glass containers, they were contributing almost 35 to 45% to this net environmental impact, packaging related environmental impact, because manufacture of glass requires many processes, and starting from the raw material, this has to be again looked at. For tin, it is still higher, but if you look at, if you used cartons based material, then obviously only 10 to 12% it is contributing. So obviously one has to see from the perspective of the product, that means which product we are going to use and which product we are going to package in which container. New concept promotes packaging potential to lower environmental impact vis-a-vis shelf life and food waste, because we do not have to only look at how much it is contributing, I mean, in terms of PREI, but we have to also look at how much it is saving on account of extending shelf life, reducing food waste. So these are some of the important issues that will have to be weighed vis-a-vis how much it is contributing to the net carbon footprint. Now, say for example, another important indicator probably in the times to come will be that how much packaging will contribute at what stage. For example, of the total food that we waste, almost packaged food I am talking about, almost 25% is related to packaging, and 50%, almost 45% is on account of how we handle at the household level. Because when we open it and then subsequently when we reuse, that means secondary life is very important, and that is why probably in the future new packaging systems will have to be positioned, and these are already in place in some selected products, wherein you can just open it and then use it and repack it so that the wastage is minimized. So this 45% of food wastage of the processed product that happens at the household level will have to be minimized, And of this, as I said, that 25% is on account of packaging. So if we improve packaging, obviously, this can result in much saving in the secondary life. Then consumer perception. I mean, of course, in India, we are not at that state, but globally, if we look at, then we find that sustainable foods are growing at almost 5% faster rate. Because if the consumers perceive that, okay, this product is being offered to us, has used sustainable means to produce it, then obviously they are attracted to it. And obviously, plant-based foods are being promoted as more sustainable, and therefore vegan groups have now come up in many parts of the world who are thinking that, okay, vegetable or plant-based foods are far more sustainable, and therefore they should consume it. These are to be, again, I mean, we have to protect our domain so that people do not start misunderstanding us, and they do not start thinking that dairy men are the major culprits, and they are creating situation wherein, I mean, they are going to create climate-related major problems. So the 4 domains of sustainable diets are nutrition. I mean, this is again why I am mentioning it, because we have to look at the entire spectrum very collectively. Say nutrition, that means whatever food we are offering, whether this is adequate in offering nutrition, the wholesomeness of the nutrition. Yes, dairy is one, because milk products is considered one of the most perfect food. Economics and affordability, this has to be addressed, because affordability, it has to be offered to the common man and has to continue affordable, to be affordable, and therefore processing interventions has to be made more efficient. Society and acceptability, because all products cannot be acceptable in all the societies. Obviously, say for example, but in our society, particularly India, which is primarily vegetarian population, I think this will continue, and more people are. Earlier, we used to have the information, or we used to be told that only 30% of the population is vegetarian, but I think it has increased many more times, and many of the non-vegetarian population have now converted into vegetarian population. So obviously, this acceptability is one of the primary concerns, because we will continue to accept only, I mean, milk products as animal proteins, and therefore the society context is very important in entire sustainability paradigm. Environment and its ecosystem and biodiversity, that's again related to everything that we have discussed till now. Higher nutrient density per calorie cost empty. I mean, this is why I am discussing it, because earlier there was an impression that probably any food that is per 100 kilocalorie per 100 gram that is being offered to the consumer, that is a very energy density. That is very energy dense, and therefore that is to be made available to a common man. But then if you look at the sugar, sugar offers many calories per 100 gram, and it also, the primary production level also, it contributes less in comparison to many other plant foods, but still we cannot say that it is nutrient dense. And therefore the now context have changed. That is, now people are telling that we should evaluate a product not on account of how much energy intensive it is, but on account of how much nutrient dense it is. And therefore milk again here comes as a great savior, because it's nutrient dense, and particularly in terms of per 100 gram, it offers far more nutrients. Nutrient profiling and nutrient rich foods, these two contexts are now being debated across the world. And they say that, okay, nutrient profiling is to be done, because every product will offer how much nutrient it is offering. Say, for example, milk, if you evaluate in terms of protein, in terms of calcium, or maybe other nutrients, so how many nutrients it can offer, because ultimately we need, for a healthy lifestyle, so many of them. But milk is probably one such natural food that is available to us, which can offer much of this. And therefore it is very important that we evaluate food based on nutrient profiling. And say for example, low fat milk, low fat yogurt, they are very high in they are very high nutrient rich foods. But if you look at cheese, probably they rank it low, because they say that although it does provide all other nutrients, but it also provides sodium, and it also provides saturated fat, which is not good for health. So that is how they are not, the context has changed, the evaluation style has changed, and the perspective of the consumers is going to change in the times to come. And they are going to look at products from these perspectives. And therefore it is very important that we evaluate product from the nutrient perspective and how many of these nutrients the product can offer. And then I'm almost coming to the close of my talk, because I thought that I will finish it in time, but maybe another 2-3 minutes. So environmental impact matrix, again, I mean, I'll not go into details of this, but then carbon cost of the foods per nutrient. This is very important, because now foods are being evaluated about how much a particular nutrient a food is offering and how much carbon footprint this has created in offering this particular. Say for example, milk will have all the nutrients, but if you want to duplicate it or replicate it in any other food matrix, then obviously you will have to have many more you will have to generate many more carbon footprints. So 2 minutes I will take, just 2 minutes. So this is all I wanted to say, that one has to have it has to be a trade-off, because all 4 parameters no product can fulfill. All the 4 indices that we have created, that I talked about, all food products will not be able to address this. So we have to have a trade-off. That means we have to see to it that maximum benefits can be derived out of per 100 gram of food product that is offered to a consumer. Liquid milk and protein powders, again, key attributes for sustainability are listed over here. That means a consumer, when they look at a product, they will try to evaluate, because this is again outcome of a survey wherein they try to evaluate and they try to judge a product from the point of view of these attributes. That means how much of carbon footprints it has been able to create. That means how much it has contributed to the greenhouse gases. Consumer is now so much aware across the world. A few and how many preservatives it has, whether it has been produced by animals which are happy and their welfare has been taken good care of. Simple and minimal ingredients have been used in the product, and then package type and organic status. So what is expected probably in the times to come is that food will have to be labeled, wherein one has to declare that, okay, this food has been produced or milk has been produced using sustainable means, and this will go, because we are looking at a situation which is likely to evolve maybe 5 to 10 years down the line. It may not be existing in our country at the moment, but then future consumers will try to evaluate your product keeping all these things in mind. And therefore, we have to take care of all that we have talked about and many more things which we could have talked had we had more time. So thank you so much for your patience hearing. And I have taken a little more time, probably a minute or 2 more. So I apologize for that. And I look forward to far more more interactions when there is time, or otherwise I will respond to chats, the questions that are put in chat box. Thank you so much. Raju.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for exhaustively covering the topic and linking it with the UN Sustainability Development Goals. Now I invite our next speaker, Dr. Atanu Jana, who is a professor at SMC College of Dairy Science, Anand Agriculture University. The winter has just begun, and Dr. Jana is coming with chilling avenues for all of us. Dr. Jana, please.
Thank you, Dr. Raju. Well, I'll start by seeking blessings from IDA President Dr. Rajoria Saab. Then my regards to the Chairman of Haryana State Chapter, Dr. S.S. Maan, and Dr. S.K. Kanarjia, the convener of today's webinar, and my fellow speakers, Dr. R.R.B. Singh sir, Dr. Vikas Ghosh, Dr. Sumit Arora, Dr. Ashish Singh, and of course, Dr. Raju has been already instrumental in making this webinar happen. Well, the topic, I will just present it. Hope it's seen. The PowerPoint presentation is okay? Okay. Pardon?
Yeah. So okay, click here. Yeah.
PPT mode.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So the topic is chilling your way to health, that is the functional ice creams. And particularly looking to this pandemic period, people have been working day in and day out in increasing the immunity of the people through incorporation of functional ingredients into ice cream and frozen desserts. Well, one second. The slides. Yeah. Now the means which are used to, I'm sorry, to increase the functionality of the product, particularly ice cream and frozen desserts, including frozen yogurt. First is fortifying the nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and the antioxidants. We will see there are plenty of, even Dr. Ashish Singh is going to tell about the use of plant sources in order to increase several therapeutic, including the antioxidative substances, which I have also incorporated. Enriched with health promoting ingredients such as probiotics and prebiotics, together we call it a symbiotic product. Reformulated food, which is associated with wherein you have tried to either reduce, substitute, or remove anything which is going to be anti-nutritional, anti-health. For instance, reducing the trans fat content, the saturated fat content, anti-nutrients, and of course use of low glycemic index, particularly the incidence of diabetes is on and off increasing day by day, including juvenile diabetes. Naturally enriched with one or more components, such as one with omega-3 fatty acids, ALA, alpha linoleic acid, and conjugated linoleic acid. Even people are in other countries where they don't have the problem of religion, or particularly the ethics, the vegetarians, they are adding fish oils into the particularly DHA and the EPA, eicosapentaenoic pentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acids. There is a problem in changing my slides. My slides are not, let me try next. Yeah. So next come to the phyto-based functional ice cream. And I told you Dr. Ashish Singh is going to again dwell on this, including some other dairy products as well. I'll be focusing on ice cream and frozen desserts. The tomato pulp and carrot juice, including the byproducts also, the pomace, tremendous, incorporated in ice cream formulation to make them functional. I will be showing you certain data, the antioxidative substances present, which will corroborate such findings. Ginseng, it is a root on the right hand side, I have shown you the photograph, with coffee flavoring. Compatible flavoring is very important in ice cream and frozen desserts. Use of licorice, because it contains glycyrrhizin as active compound, and that have got a lot of therapeutic values. I have shown this root on the right hand side bottom, okay, the sticks, these are of licorice, and it is also a flavor extender. So you can see the impact of the flavor enhancement in the ice cream as well. The blueberry concentrates, in one I have shown raspberry versus blueberry concentrate. Blueberry has got a lot of associated therapeutic virtues in terms of the antioxidative as well as the flavonoid content. And finally, the spirulina with pistachio flavoring. See, now they have already performed this particular by giving the tomato as well as the carrot, and they found that there is increase in the vitamin C. The citrus fruits are very potent in vitamin C. We are requiring nowadays also from the COVID pandemic, we require that to take. I am also taking it every day. And milk is not a good source of vitamin C, fiber and iron. So these are certain sources wherein you can add it. Beta carotene, we know that cow milk does contain buffalo milk, in that the vitamin A has already been converted into. So beta carotene sources can be obtained more from carrot rather than from tomato. And the fiber, it again for the bowel movement and everything, it's very important for that. Again, these are the substances which can be utilized. So tempting. You can see on the left hand side the tomato based ice cream. It can give you the natural color similar to what we do annatto or beta carotene in cheese making, the only natural color we are trying to use. And if you see the baraf ka gola, which is available at a throwaway price of 10 or 15 rupees a gola, okay, I think probably it is health dangerous. On the right hand side, you can see the photograph of a sorbat made using tomato. Sorbat is always a low calorie product and which is targeted at 50 plus people, including me. And the carrot frozen yogurt, the fermentation by the starter cultures, including the probiotic cultures, will be adding to the therapeutic virtues. Well, Lyco red, the lycopene, the name itself of tomato is Lycopersicum esculentum L. And this Lyco red has been obtained from the tomato peel, the byproduct which we are throwing it. And they have been added at the rate of 1, 3, and 5% at level. And you can see the FRAP, that is ferric reducing antioxidant power, because in our body also we are consuming fat. Now this fat, if it undergoes autooxidative deterioration, it may start into, first of all, the tumor, and sometimes the tumor turns into cancer. So we need to take, for example, nowadays they say green tea, the epigallocatechin gallate content in that is very helpful compared to the black tea, which we are number one producer of black tea in the world. So you can see even up to 30 days of storage of such particular ice cream containing the carotenoids, the value decreased, but then it was much greater than what a controlled ice cream would have been giving. It takes little time to just change the slide. Probiotic functional ice cream made utilizing goat milk solids. Last time in the IDA conference, we saw that, the minor milk species, and I had delivered a thing on cheese. So particularly Mahatma Gandhi ji also used to rear the goat and take the goat milk. Recently, I had been to Kerala to get some Ayurvedic medicines for my asthma ailment. And one of the medicine given to me was to be taken always, every day with goat milk. So you can imagine the therapeutic virtues of the goat milk. So even nowadays, donkey milk is also started, camel milk, by Amul also. So two types, one is a raspberry and a blueberry. Both have been utilized. And just see the type of ingredient they have used over and above the dairy product. That is tagatose, which is an intense sweetener. Lettuce, it is a fat substitute. Polydextrose, it is a bulking ingredient. We have our probiotics like bifidobacterium and lactobacillus, probiotic culture, raspberry and blackberry fruit sauces. We will see now what it did. In the final count, up to 120 days of storage, the probiotic count, both the lactobacillus, acidophilus, as well as the bifidobacterium longum, they were more than 8.2 log 10 CFU per gram on 120th day of storage of the ice cream at minus 18 degree centigrade. So you can imagine what virtues, therapeutic virtues, this ice cream will be having. So again, this particular table showcases when you're using blueberry vis-a-vis raspberry, both of them are frozen yogurt, wherein we have tried to use the probiotic and symbiotic products as well. And you can see the total phenolic content, the anthocyanin content. The blue grapes or the black grapes, they are a very good source of anthocyanin pigment. Flavonoids and antioxidant capacity in terms of Trolox millimoles per 100 gram. You can see for blueberry, there will be potent increase in that compared to use of raspberry, and what to speak about the control without using these two ingredients. Now I came across in the literature survey the commercially available for functional ice creams. One is a Hello Top range of ice cream containing organic ingredients. Even the last one, Weiss Organic Superfood Paleo Ice Cream, they are using only organic ingredients as well, including coconut meat also as a non-dairy product also. And even vegan ice cream, they also have it. Then second is A2 range of ice cream, which is free from A1 proteins. And you know it particularly in Delhi and Haryana, this A2 milk is being sold at 100, 120 rupees a litre, vis-a-vis 50 rupees a litre for non-A2 milks. The greatest low glycemic index. So again, with the increase in the diabetes amongst even the juvenile, I think we have to be very cautious. Even for me also, it is always in the terms of border whenever I go for my blood testing for the sugar content. Whereas in my whole family, everyone has it. My father, mother, sister, brother, mine, it comes in the border, the sugar level. Well, finally coming to the probiotic, ice creams. The cultures are very important, the strain specific. If you want the specific health therapeutic virtues to come from them, and one of the recent I have seen a lot of that, these cultures, probiotic, are acting against streptococcus mutants. And this is one of them in the dental, for our dental caries and off smell coming from the mouth. So this it can take care, including by the use of probiotic culture of specific strain in the ice cream. So the majority you will see Lactobacillus acidophilus LA5, Bifidobacterium lactis BB12, Bifidobacterium longum. Even the source is very important, intestinal, even from the feces, And International Dairy Federation has recommended minimum of 10⁷ probiotic live cells per gram at the time of consumption. Maybe the consumption may be after 5 months of storage. Now, these are, everyone knows it, what probiotic can do, particularly for the GIT, gastrointestinal troubles, including travelers, diarrhea, and even on the left-hand side, I showed you for the oral health, below, probiotic for oral health. And even increase lactose tolerance and digestion. Lactose intolerance is again a problem with some. It can help in even reduction of the cholesterol and production of some vitamins which are important in any functional products. Probiotic frozen yogurt. When I had visited Maldives, I went to one outlet wherein you have to just take a coin and just put it on the vending machine and you get whatever flavor you wanted of the frozen yogurt, and then you enjoy. Now this is particularly a very helpful thing. India is also picking up. Amul has also got it at Anand, and everywhere in India they are selling it. Now there are some problems also which are faced. For example, the technological means to circumvent the problems as a result of freeze injury, because from at continuous ice cream freezer, the ice cream is going to come out at -6 degrees centigrade. There are some low temperature continuous freezer wherein at -14 the ice cream comes out before you go for hardening. Then the oxygen toxicity, you know that majority of the probiotic bacteria, they are anaerobic or facultative anaerobic. So again, oxygen toxicity and the acid development. So pH is generally greater than 5.3 in preparation of this yogurt which you are using along with the ice cream mix. So some of the technological means which have been utilized include the cryoprotectants, which can reduce the freezing point, and at any given temperature, less amount of the frozen ice will be there, giving less injury to the cells, bacteria. Encapsulation of the probiotic cells using even poly-L-lysine and alginate and several other stabilizers have also been used with increase. Even by spray drying such things in order to get a powder, you have got good survivability of the probiotics. Low-fat ice cream gives better survivability of the probiotic compared to use of full-fat versions. And let me tell you, whenever it's a frozen yogurt, wherever you will see the standards in countries abroad, you will find the fat content is hovering around 4 to 6% only, not more than 10 what we have it for our full fat ice creams. Strain selection, as I told you, is very important, and what health benefit you wish them to manifest. The fermentation, as I said, pH should not go below 5.6. It should be above that. And one of the very simple means is to mix ice cream mix basic with the yogurt, the stirred yogurt which we call it. Mix it and then go for freezing it after adding the flavoring. Presence of prebiotics also increases the survival of several strains of probiotic bacteria. And gases, as I told you, oxygen toxicity. If you use nitrogen or even carbon dioxide as a whipping agent, the survivability of the probiotic bacteria increases. Stevia, in order to have, it's a sugar replacer, not a very intense as saccharose, saccharin or acesulfame K or aspartame would be giving. It is only 5 to 10% more sweeter than 15 times sweeter than sucrose. But believe me, it's a natural sweetener. Many are, the dipeptide, they are all synthetic ones, and they provide sweet taste tolerated by the diabetics, and the consumers with the dental caries, etc., can also benefit from use of stevia, and it is available nowadays. It also contains some phenolic compounds. See, in the title I've written less sugar, more antioxidant. So as much as 2.5% on dry basis, the IC15 inhibition, that is half maximum inhibitory consistency, shows the DPPH radical scavenging activity, showing its antioxidant potential. Continuing with the frozen yogurt, which is sugar free, because we want to have no sugar at all, but we will be utilizing the intense sweeteners with or without some sugar alcohols like sorbitol or xylitol. Even maltitol can be very well used. And here you can see they have used low fat, which is 3.2. Our minimum is 10% in any ice creams. Polydextrose, they have used aspartame and acesulfame K, potassium in mixture. Inulin as a prebiotic. Isomalt is a sugar alcohol, and they have used S. thermophilus and Lactobacillus delbrueckii as the cultures for the yogurt. And the LAB count, they got more than 10⁸ per gram at the time of consumption. Next slide. Omega-3 fat enriched ice cream. Again, here in the plant sources will come in, the chia seeds. And you can see in this again the EPA, the DHA, etc., whatever I have showed, the gallic acid equivalent, the flavonoid content, the DPPH free radical, upon incorporation of just 20% of chia oil in the total fat, 80:20, milk fat is to chia oil. I have shown the photograph of chia seeds on the right hand side bottom. And again, Dr. probably A.K. Singh sir also will be dwelling on that. And generally, if you see in any products wherein they have enriched the omega-3, they have tried to use the fish oils. And for vegetarian, this will be a deterrent. Fruit byproducts, particularly the valued ingredients, the dietary fiber. Milk is deficient in dietary fiber, and so is ice cream also. Whatever stabilizer we use, they are probably a little source of carbohydrate dietary fiber, but we use 0.2 to 0.3% only, which is not enough. You have to take 14 grams per day if you are a male. So you can see again, you have several valued ingredient you can make from even orange peel. On the right hand side, the candied peel. I have made my student use in bhapa dahi. Bhapa dahi is a steamed dahi. West Bengal, it's very popular sweet meat. And it has increased the dietary fiber and other phytochemicals as well. Similarly, the pink dragon fruit peel, nowadays even in Haryana, when I had gone to one marriage, I had seen this as a dessert, the pink dragon fruit peel. Not peel, I mean the entire fruit they have given. And the pomegranate seed powder. Now this is going to be a wonderful ingredient to put it into your ice cream for value addition. So just to again validate such thing, the use of pomegranate peel powder, the orange peel powder, the passion fruit peel powder, they have got, including the, other than the therapeutic, the functional properties like, water holding capacity, like a stabilizer would do it. So you can see at the bottom, the water holding capacity, and the DPPH radical scavenging activity, the antioxidative activity of these. So if you add it over and above the fiber, you will be having such advantage. I've got just 3-4 slides more. I'll just finish it. What functional ice creams can do. On the left hand side, your wife's revolutionary product, they have they are claiming 20 billion probiotic count in 6 ounce, 1 ounce is 18 grams of individual portion of yogurt, sorbet or gelato. On the left hand side, probiotics, they can lead to some serotonin, which are nothing but happy neurotransmitter. And nowadays they say, they have a nexus with the brain also. They can activate your brain to have better happiness, and these are fun foods after all. Nano encapsulation of hydrophobic curcumin from our turmeric, haldi. एक बार शादी में लगाते हैं, सोचते हैं वो गोरा हो जाएगा. This has got lot of even antimicrobial activities as well. And finally, the natural antioxidant, they reduce the oxidative stress, improves the vascular, the functionality, and finally the physical performance, for which they are now very much claimed for. The antioxidant rich ice creams, wherein they have tried to use cocoa, hazelnut as one of the favored nuts. The green tea had already told you about the epicatechin gallets, and the red wine. Even in countries abroad, they have, wine or alcohol-based ice creams as one of the flavorings. Why not we? At least in Haryana, Delhi, why not? And see, they have done a clinical trial 2 hours after the human subjects aged 20 to 40 years consumed 100 grams of ice cream. The serum level of polyphenol increased and their oxidative stress was found to be decreased. So they have, and this is done at the University of Rome, Tor Vergata in Italy. Rosal extract. On the left hand side, the flower, on the right hand side, the extract of that. And here's what the calyx has got, the calyx, CALYCES. They have got a very good therapeutic, and you can see the vast advantage: anti-tumor, antioxidative, anti-hyperlipidemic, and cardioprotective, anti-hypertensive, of course. And the main anthocyanin includes hibiscine and gossypicyanin, which are responsible, and the natural color, just like lycopene gives in tomato, this also is giving you a natural color for use in ice cream. I found a very good website, Dr. Ice Cream from London. They are utilizing these phytonutrients in order to club this ice cream, label them as a functional ice cream, and especially when they are using those, cocoa, hazelnut, etc., and the grape wine, they have seen higher level of nitric oxide, which kept their arteries healthy and the blood flow and the physical stamina improved compared to those who are consuming control ice cream without such phytochemicals. Just two more slides. This is again a photograph of the wherever they're selling their Dr. Ice Cream. And anti-insomnia. Now this, is very common with many. I had seen my mother-in-law, my mother suffering from this at the age of 80 plus, no doubt. So again, this is considered to be a disorder, just like any disease. If you can't sleep for say 15 hours a day or at least 10 hours a day. And they have tried to formulate an ice cream utilizing higher protein, low sugar, and specific amount of minerals, amino acids, and enzymes, and using particularly some amount of melatonin and chocomine, a cocoa-based ingredient, just like this, but without the caffeine kick. And this one, they are already selling it as a night food. On the right-hand side below, you can see. So again, those things, the lactose-free, caffeine is less, with particular amount of magnesium and specific amino acids which are beneficial for the sleep. Thus finally, if you have ample sleep, you have a good health. And finally, again, frozen dessert, they have done the human studies with cancer therapy patients who are already undergoing the radiation therapy. After that, there is a lot of nauseating, a lot of vomiting, etc. So they have made ice cream utilizing whey protein isolate. You know how important it is as a source of protein, with branch chain amino acids, polydextrose, dextrose, organic sugar, cremodin as a stabilizer, emulsifier blend, and low fat, lactose free, trans fat free, gluten free, and then finally they have already given to them, and they saw that particularly pineapple with ginger, strawberry and lemon, this is something which the cancer patients enjoyed taking such particular type of ice creams. The last two slides is related to this pandemic era wherein the Dairy Day in Karnataka, they have come out with Chavanprash ice cream and even haldi and pepper ice cream. These are all we are using kada bana ke pine ka in the morning every day to keep us immune. The immuno chakra and the haldi ice cream having all the ginger, tulsi, etc. Okay, by Amul, including the both on the right hand side, both you can see the Amul they have, and others are also coming follow suit. Hope I have chilled you enough. This is nothing but, it's using liquid nitrogen. They are nowadays freezing ice cream in countries abroad, and this is the fad which the people have started to. Dots ice cream is one of the thing you can see in the web. So there are a lot of things to go, and this pandemic era has also made scientists work on this era so that our immune system increases and our life long we remain stress-free and disease-free. Thank you all. Thank for giving me the opportunity to have my say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving us the entire gamut of novelty in ice cream. Now, may I now invite the next speaker, Dr. Sumit Arora, who is a principal scientist in the Dairy Chemistry Division of NDRI Karnal, and he'll be speaking on the newer milk mineral complexes for food fortification. I'll be sharing his slides from here. Sir. Sumit sir.
म्यूट नहीं हुआ डॉक्टर साहब, अनम्यूट देखो तो, अनम्यूट तो नहीं, अनम्यूट कर लीजिए आपका, हाँ, यस.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank dignitaries from IDA who have given me a chance to present something which which holds very dear to me. I've been working on fortification for some years now. So today I'll be discussing with you all some new mineral complexes which are complexed with milk proteins and how it can be used for food fortification. Next, please. If you just go to the Indian regulatory scenario, which were released in 2018, regarding what has been allowed and what has not been allowed during the fortification of food, you can see that in the case of milk, it is only the vitamin A and D which has been allowed. Whereas when you talk about cooking oil, again, they have allowed the use of A and D. Whereas when you talk about atta, maida or rice, it is only vitamin A, and other vitamins such as B12, B1, B2, B3, and B6 have been allowed. Now, when you talk about the minerals, it is only the iron and zinc which has been allowed in atta, maida, and rice, but these have not been allowed for any of the dairy products. I was on this panel for food fortification, and we used to get a lot of requests where milk and milk products, where people wanted to get an approval where they will be using as a vehicle for delivery for these type of products. So our concept is based on the fact that why not go for milk and milk products as a vehicle for minerals. Next, please. When we initiated work, we were faced a lot of problems that, for example, when we added calcium to milk, there was always a problem of heat stability. It used to coagulate because of protein instability. Also, some of the calcium salts, for example, the calcium chloride and the carbonates, they used to sediment out, and it used to give certain grittiness problems to the product. Also, when we used the iron and the zinc as a fortificant, there used to be a lot of problems faced in flavor and color, and also heat stability. When you use iron, the main, for example, the ferrous sulfate, which is a gold standard for iron. So when you use it, it plays havoc with the system. because there are two types of iron fortificants which are available. One which are highly bioavailable like ferrous sulfate. So these are water soluble salts, and they have a lot of they give you side chain reactions and other chemical dehydrations. Then when we fortified the milk with vitamins and during thermal treatment, there was an activity loss because these are all biological material. So what we realized, why not go for milk proteins as an effective vehicle for complex formation? Next, please. What we all know that human beings, as they require a lot of nutrients for a healthy well-being, and this threat for micronutrient malnutrition is for real. It's not that only the people in Asia are suffering. No, it's just the nations such as US and UK also have certain problems of micronutrient malnutrition. And globally, if you see the micronutrient deficiencies, which are the where people are hardest is that of vitamin A, iodine, iron, and zinc. Next, please. So what we said, we all are, we are that iron and zinc will cause you a lot of problems. So, for example, when you talk about iron deficiency anemia, so it can has an adverse effect like lower growth rate, impaired cognitive scores, poor pregnancy outcomes, lower working capacity in adults. So it plays a part in economic development of countries. And when you talk about zinc deficiency, then the clinical manifestations of this type of deficiency are largely unspecific. So symptoms of it can include dermatitis, retarded growth, diarrhea, mental disturbance, and recurrent infections. So this is due to the problems of zinc. So this has to be ultimately taken care of when you talk about fortification with this type of minerals. Next, please. Now, the main problem, as I discussed, when you talk about fortification of milk with minerals is when you talk about free salts. For example, you talk about ferrous sulfate. Now, when you use ferrous sulfate, it acts as a catalyst for lipid oxidation. And also, it gives you certain chemical reactivity. The product is not going to be safe at all. So also, it's a challenge to ensure the bioavailability of the added fortificants. So what we did was, we said, let us curtail the activity of these fortificants such as iron. We chelate them with milk proteins. And then in a way, we are not allowing it to be as reactive as free salts. And this will make it sure that we are protected from the side effects. So one approach was we use the native proteins, and the second was we used to modify the milk proteins. We used a process such as succinylation, where the milk proteins were allowed to react with succinic anhydride, which has a GRAS status. So this succinic anhydride reacts with amino acids such as lysine, the epsilon amino group, and it gives you a more negative character to the proteins. And when the proteins gets more negative character, it binds to a much higher level with these cations, that is your iron or calcium or zinc. Next, please. Then, the efficiency of iron fortificants is strongly influenced by iron absorption enhancers and inhibitors in the diet. Now, inhibitors in the diet is a very serious concern. For example, FSSAI has allowed the use of an atta, maida, and rice. But all of these has a good level of phytates and oxalates. When these minerals are present in this type of products, this can form a complex with phytates, oxalates. So these are not metabolized. This goes out of the body as such. It's not digested. So it's metabologically, it is not available by the body. But in the case of milk, when you take these fortificants in the case of via milk, so they don't contain any inhibitors such as phytates and oxalates. So there we have a best role to play. And of course, the lactose in milk also accelerate or accentuate the absorption of these minerals. Next slide, please. Now, if you see the iron requirements which is needed for the body, for example, like women, they require about 2 milligram per day, and men, they will be requiring about 1 milligram per day. So hence the net iron requirements is very low. Now the RDA for women is about 15 milligram. That is, it is 7.5 times higher than the net requirements. And for men, it is about 12 milligrams. That means about 12 times higher than the
The voice has stopped, no?
Yeah.
Can't hear anything.
Disconnect हो गया sir. I think it has got disconnected.
I think we lost connection with Dr. Sumit.
कॉल करके देखो ना लैंडलाइन से.
कर रहा हूँ सर.
कर रहा हूँ.
Dr. Raju, can we have the next slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what we did was we developed a process by which we prepared some iron-bound milk proteins and also the zinc-bound milk proteins. So this is the complex which we could find out was it helped out very well. Next slide, please. So what we did was we used sodium caseinate, about 90% proteins, WPC with 80%, and milk protein concentrates about 85% of the proteins. And also we prepared a succinylated versions of these proteins. So we adjusted the proteins, the pH of these complexes, and we could bind them. We centrifuged it. We could collect the supernatant, which consisted of the soluble proteins and the mineral solutions. We ultrafiltered them, and the retentate what we got was freeze dried and spray dried. You know, nothing works out like spray drying, because if it has commercial implications, then spray drying has to be done. Next slide, please. So what we did was we got 6 type of protein preparations, and we found that complexes can be made from all of these. And this next slide, please. And we found that among these 6, the best among the native protein and the best among modified proteins we could find out. And the optimization conditions or the best were selected on the basis that it should carry a good amount of iron and minerals, zinc, and it should, since it has to be used for fortification of milk, then it should be soluble at pH around about 7. And also the yield should be high, which was only possible when we used good quantity of proteins. So among these different native proteins, the WPC was served well. It gave you the best iron complex and the best zinc complex. Whereas when we talked about modified proteins, the succinylated sodium caseinate gave you the best complexes with both iron and zinc. Next slide, please. Then, in fact, in the market, if you see, there are a number of carbohydrate mineral complexes being used by pharmaceuticals. So we took the cue by wherein pectin was used to bind with certain minerals and chelates. So we used lactose. So lactose iron complexes and lactose zinc complexes were made by adjusting the solutions at different pH and after centrifugation, then concentration by rotary evaporators. We added absolute alcohol for crystallization to take place, followed by washing of these crystals. Then finally, crystallization again. And we ended up with lactose iron complex crystals and lactose zinc complex crystals. Next slide, please. So if you see the composition of the mineral complexes, we found that the WPC iron and WPC zinc complexes contained about 11 milligram per gram of the complex for these minerals. Whereas the succinylated versions, they were very, very rich. It could bind with much higher quantity of these minerals. Whereas the lactose complexes, the binding with minerals was little less. Next slide, please. So now the aim was to increase the in vitro bioaccessibility. So you could clearly see in the when milk was taken as source, the bioaccessibility of iron was for about 47%. And when you added iron salt, ferrous sulfate, the bioaccessibility enhanced to 70%. Whereas when you use the WPC iron complex, it increased to 80%. And wherever when you use succinylated version of the iron complex, it increased to 84%. Coming to the protein zinc complex, the increase in bioaccessibility was about 83%. So vis-a-vis, if you see, the bioaccessibility of minerals can be enhanced a lot. Sensory analysis, no problems using these complexes. Next slide, please. Then if you see the lactose iron complexes, the bioaccessibility was still 80% in the case of iron. And when you talk about the zinc complexes, it was about 86%. But however, we were not very successful with lactose because the content was quite less. But in the case of protein complexes, this gives you the best results. Next slide, please. So what we ended up was that these milk protein mineral complexes, both native and succinylated, this could be used as organic fortificant with better solubility, bioavailability, and oxidative stability. So these milk protein mineral complexes can be used in a plethora of different products with minimal effect on sensory, physicochemical characteristics, and product shelf life. So we were able to get all these products, and we were able to get the funding from DST and also DBT for making this type of products. Next slide, please. So these were some high impact publications which we could obtain from this different projects. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving an insight into the work that you have been carrying out, especially in the area of novel food ingredients for fortification purposes. Now, I invite Dr. Ashish Kumar Singh, who is a principal scientist in the Dairy Technology Division, to deliver his talk on the application of plant-derived ingredients for development of functional foods. So I'll be sharing his slides. Just a moment, please. Sir, are the slides visible now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Yes, sir. You can continue, sir, please.
Okay. Also, very good afternoon to all. Dr. Rajoria, the President of IDA, Mr. Maan, Dr. Arabi Singh, the Joint Director Academics, Dr. Kanojia, and all distinguished speakers for this webinar. I have been given a topic that is application of our plant-derived ingredients for the development of functional food. Next one. So a lot has already been presented in this regard. And when we talk about the functional food, probably, this is one category of food product which is growing at a very rapid or, impressive growth rate. That is not 117, but it's 17.1%. And particularly the biggest markets are China and the South Asia, including India. And the Indian market is estimated to be around 320 billions. And we all know that we have achieved, in terms of agriculture production in all commodities, we are among the topmost producers, but still the malnutrition problem is prevailing, both undernutrition as overnutrition. And one of the major reasons for which is that if you look at the diversity of our food basket, that is diminishing day by day, and particularly the share of plant-based products, whether it is from the food grains or fruits and vegetable, it is continuously declining, and probably this is one of the reasons for staggering figures of malnutrition and lifestyle associated diseases. The next one. The topic about which I am talking is is a category of composite dairy products, where we in other words, I can say fusion or hybrid dairy product. So there is no universal definition as such. But recently, FSI has also permitted that we can use non-dairy components in formulation of new category of product, and particularly that innovation is in their mind. There are a number of products which are already existing, like the kheer. Then there are various kind of food-based burfis and malted milk food. So all these kind of products are there, and these products are developed primarily to satiate and to improve the acceptability of milk and milk-based products. Next one. Then when we talk about the plant-based ingredient, probably this is one of the largest categories. So nearly 2/3 of the world's 7.2 billion people rely on the healing power of plant-based material for various reasons, because of the availability, affordability, and moreover because they are natural. And nowadays there is a basic tendency or temptation towards all products which are labeled as natural. And particularly I will talk about the molecules which are basically the kind of secondary metabolites, which we normally call them as phytochemicals or phytonutrients. And these phytochemicals or nutrients, they exhibit wide range of activity and improve the physiological and have ability to improve the physiological functions. So the driving force for functional food and plant-based commodities or ingredients are like integral, because they are considered to be integral part of self-care movement. There are number of increasing scientific incidences which are in animal model or in vitro model or even clinical trial, which indicate that what specific molecule has ability to either alleviate or cure or completely or regulate a particular kind of disease. Moreover, our changing regulations, food regulations, are also permitting these kind of new formulation. Next one. So there is a wide range of categories of phytochemicals which belong to the different categories. Many of these compounds, probably most of you are familiar, but there are many compounds which are very difficult to even pronounce. And these metabolites, when we add into the food product, they keep on changing. Or they maybe get converted into other kind of metabolites which are having either positive or negative roles. So that both kind of role they play. And but here we will discuss only about the positive kind of role which they play with the human physiology. Next one. So some of the bioactive components which are present, like phenolic acid, flavonoids, beta-glucan, dietary fiber, oligosaccharide, carotenoids, and majority of them have ability to act as antioxidant. And we know that lifestyle-associated diseases are primarily due to the production of free radicals or free radical-mediated reactive oxygen species, whether it is cardiovascular disease or cancer or any kind of abnormality related to the bones and even the aging process. So, and diabetic also. So these molecules are having a role in removing the free radicals and reactive oxygen species daily from our body. And another kind of components are generally the fibers or soluble fiber, particularly because they modulate our gut microflora. And we know that 70% of our immune system is located in the gut. So these molecules, particularly the dietary fiber, beta-glucan, and other soluble dietary fiber, they also play a very important role in improving our health status. Next one. So when we talk about the fusion and composite, that means that we are integrating the non-dairy solids, whether derived from millets and core cereals, fruits and vegetables, with the milk and milk product to improve their nutritional image, their sensory excitability, and also now in another category ahead, that is functional food. So must have health promoting or health elevating or improving kind of conditions. Next one. So innovative ingredients which are available, and these category include both macromolecules and micromolecules, and primarily, they are being used in food formulation for to improve or impart certain kind of functionality, maybe related to their flavor, texture improvement, viscosity, as a coloring material, emulsifier, stabilizer, foaming, and sweeteners, acidulants. And some of the important categories are like starch, syrups, malt, hydrocolloids, then oligosaccharide, including fructooligosaccharides, inulin, oligofructose, phytosterols, and herbs and spices. The natural pigments like anthocyanins and carotenoids. So these are few categories on which our group has basically worked over the years when we talk about the fusion or like composite functional dairy products. Next one. So what are the benefits? The very first reason is they are considered to supplement the nutritional quality. They also, offer certain elements which are normally not present. Although we know that milk is considered to be a complete food, but it lacks vitamin C, it lacks vitamin A, particularly in fat divide or skim, milk-based kind of product, iron. So on the other side, plants are rich in these kind of vitamins, minerals, and also fiber. So they basically complement the lack of certain nutrients. Then on the other side, there are a number of molecules about which I have already showed you in the slide, that these molecules are having important role as far as improving the physiological status or functions are concerned. On the other side, many of these compounds are, particularly the fruits and vegetables, which we add in the form of either pulp or juices. Already Dr. Jana has mentioned a lot about the kind of products or preparations which are used to improve the sensory quality with various kind of frozen desserts. Then it also offer a kind of opportunity to innovate in terms of like formulation, the new kind of technological packages. And we know that product diversification is a very important and hallmark for the sustainability of any industry. Okay, because we have to meet the diverse aspirations of consumers. And also it also, these kind of addition of these kind of ingredients basically offer a new range of product, new opportunities to the processors, which they can continuously launch in the market so that they can sustain and earn profit also. Next one. So one such category of product is milk cereal based complementary food. Complementary food, we all know, are the one which are have a very important role as far as the growth and development of child is concerned. Not only the physical, but the mental growth also. And so for malt, we basically depends on only one cereal, that is barley. But there we worked on a number of millets, including pearl millet, sorghum, and a little bit on the this ragi or finger millet. And all these are having very good malting characteristics. And we have utilized the nutritional, or you can say advantages, and we developed a kind of product like whey skim milk pearl millet based low cost nutritious complementary food. Similarly, complementary food or malt based products are not should not be limited only for the infants, but there is another category, and this is a time when industry must try to cash on it, is the geriatric population, because we know that geriatric people, they suffer with certain kind of stomach disorders or poor digestion, and where the pre-digested foods in the form of complementary food or like malt based products can be an ideal substitute for them. Next one. Another area where we worked is how to harness the nutritional virtues of the whey, and for that we combined it with different type of fruit products, fruit juices, pulp to prepare ready to serve kind of drinks, sports drinks, electrolyte drinks, fermented drinks, and even protein enriched kind of drinks, where the milk proteins are used to enrich the fruit juices or similar kind of product. On the other side, milk based products where we have used exotic as well as indigenous kind of fruits to develop high antioxidant milk fruit beverages, even the products like meal replacement beverages with added malt. Then few beverages formulations and technology which we have developed is prebiotic containing milk beverages, and also the probiotic drinks where the sensory attribute was improved by the addition of and even the survivability of probiotics was also improved by the addition of your fruit or vegetable kind of drink pulps or juices. Next one is a smoothie, which is a kind of, again, the meal replacement beverage. So people who skip breakfast or meal, generally it's a kind of cocktail where we used unrelated kind of non-dairy solids like cereals, millets, fruit juices, milk and vegetable juices, and with the milk and milk component. And these kind of products are basically designed with the objective to provide all kind of macro and micronutrients, particularly people who skip breakfast and who want to avoid any kind of junk food for that. Next one. Next one, Dr. Raju. Then another important ingredient is phytosterols. Phytosterols are naturally present in most of the vegetable oil, cereals, pulses, and fruits and vegetables, and they exist in different forms, like free sterol is prepared with fatty acids or phenolic acid, or with the sugar moiety. And one of the important role, physiological function with phytosterol perform is that they have anti-hypercholesteremic activity. So in fact, during this gut absorption, they compete with the cholesterol which is present in the diet. So if we add in higher amount, definitely they inhibit the absorption of cholesterol, and in that way they check the blood cholesterol level. And Benicol is a company which is also, and there are many other companies which offer basically the phytosterol sterol preparations, and these phytosterols are already being used in yogurt-based drink, cream cheese spreads, milk, and cheddar cheese to partly remove the fat and also improve the nutritional quality. Next one. Then another area is the fermented dairy product. And in fermented dairy product, we utilize the millets, particularly the pearl millet, sorghum, then coarse cereals like oat, barley, even the wheat, to develop a kind of traditional, drink which is quite popular in Rajasthan and Haryana and part of Punjab, is called rabri. So what innovation we did, we collected samples from different rural pockets, around 64 such samples, and we isolated around 72 bacteria from that, and then we zeroed down to 4 bacteria, and these bacteria, they have ability to utilize both the cereal or millet solids as well as milk solids, and we are using it as a starter culture. And few of these bacteria, they are also exhibiting probiotic attributes. So we also observed that the application of these bacteria basically remove or substantially the anti-nutrients which are generally present, and one of the major reason for poor sensory and nutritional quality of the millet crops. Next one. Then another category of products on which we worked is that to use the cereal or malt component, particularly in formulation of probiotic dairy products. And we know that for probiotics are the important strategy for improving the gut health. And one of the reasons why probiotics are not becoming so popular is that we do not perceive any health benefit even after long-term consumption. And one of the reasons is that it must have a particular kind of count, which is around 10 to power 8 to 10 to power 9 CFU per gram. And because of the various reasons, this count generally, the probiotic count generally get decreased. But the application of cereal components, it not only promote the growth of probiotic microorganism because it provides additional food substrate. It then also the dietary fiber which are already present in the cereal preparation, they also offer beneficial physiological effect. They also act as a prebiotic. So these probiotic microorganisms can multiply rapidly when they reaches to the colon region by utilizing these non-digestible carbohydrates. And also these cereal component, they also act as an encapsulation material. So, you know, they resist any kind of lowering in the count, particularly during the transit from stomach to an intestine and bile, against bile. So our work which we have done with certain probiotic strains, we observed that these like malt, wheat and barley extract, they have a very protective effect, particularly under acidic conditions. Next one. The next category of product, and particularly for during this COVID era, is the herbal dairy product. Already we have an example of, you know, turmeric or haldi based dairy products, but there are again, you know, we have a system of Ayurveda, and we know there are a number of herbs which about which there is the health benefits of which there is already been documented. Only thing is we have to identify what exact or which is molecule is exact or phytochemical is there, and how we can extract it without affecting adversely its you know, like chemoprotective effect, and can add at in the food product, and also if certain technological modification. And one such example for this product is Arjuna herbal ghee, which is developed by the scientist of our institute. And this we know that there are certain component, bioactive components present in the Arjuna herb, and these assist in regulation of blood pressure and also are cardioprotective. So similarly, you know, there are many other herbs like turmeric, shatavari, ashwagandha, triphala, and there are a number of medicated ghee. So we may utilize these kind of herbs in developing the novel or innovative kind of ghees and other dairy fat spread preparation. Similarly, herbs and spices, including thyme, rosemary, fennel, cinnamon, black pepper, nutmeg, they can also be employed for developing newer healthy variants of particularly the cheeses or cheese-based spreads. So already, you know, few products are already there. The next category of ingredient is plant-based oligosaccharide. And in this regard, the first three, which is like fructo-oligosaccharide, inulin, oligofructose, they are available commercially, and they can be used for a number of functions as sweeteners, as fat mimetics. So if we want to remove or omit fat from our formulation of dairy-based products like cheeses, ice creams, we can use these one in infant formula, where they generally add, you know, act as a soluble dietary fiber component, in synbiotic dairy product as humectant, as bulking agent. So there are a number of functionality, and this is a time when we can, opportune time when we must harness these functionality for developing new range of product. And so far, they are recognized as GRAS. No mutagenic effect. Only, you know, when we consume in higher amount, there may be chances of some intestinal disturbance or diarrhea. Next one. The other side of story is that even some plant-based or, you know, conventionally available products can be, their nutritional and therapeutic virtues can be improved by adding the dairy ingredients. And in that regard, milk proteins, they are becoming ingredient of prudent choice. And if you look at the label of all these products, whether it is eggless, low or no fat product, sports food, infant foods, protein enrichment, enriched beverages, there you will find either milk protein or particularly the whey protein fraction or components are used in their formulation. Next one. We have also exploited to improve the nutritional image, particularly in bakery. So we developed certain this kind of biscuits, particularly the millet-based biscuits, snacks item. And we observed there are not only technological advantages when we are using these milk ingredients or dairy ingredients in biscuits, like in terms of like dough consistency, firmness, but also we observed that there was improved bioavailability of certain minerals, particularly the iron and zinc when it was added in biscuit formulation. Next one. Likewise, we have, Raju, click. Likewise, we have also utilized the nutritional and functional properties of whey proteins and milk proteins to develop certain kind of snack food item in combination with other ingredients for people who are who want to lose weight, heart healthy, sports nutrition, and immune enhancer. Where apart from milk like milk proteins, we also added certain additives, particularly based on the plants only. And these kind of snacks could be a very ideal kind of substitute, particularly for infant and for particularly for children who are very fond of extruded snacks. Next one. Next one. Then largely there are a number of researchable issues, because it's not only mixing of non-dairy or dairy solids, but there are many challenges with many researchable issues. First of all, the form, in which form these plant ingredients can be used in formulation, the formulation challenge, like in interaction between the ingredients, then its overall effect on the quality characteristics of the development product. And moreover, when we develop any functional food, we must know about the efficacy and safety issues, bioavailability of desired nutrient, and also the what kind of bioactive component are present in this composite should be, we must be able to quantify during the entire supply chain, and also the economics of the production, right? Which target group, whether it is for all general masses or for other people. And there are many other, for that we all have to come together, like nutritionists, professionals, pharmacologists, and marker, because these products must be launched in the market only after having proper clinical or animal kind of trial. Next one. So lastly, I would like to conclude that there is recent trend which indicate that there is among the stakeholder, there is increasing interest to combining the milk or milk byproducts with cereals, millets, fruits, and vegetables. And this is also often a unique opportunity for expanding the milk or dairy market through healthful marriage between milk or dairy product and plant products. And of course, this is from the technological point of view, such formulations are sometimes difficult to make, but there are a number of technologies which are available, and probably this is the time when we industry and academia both has to work together to find out how we best can utilize these technological interventions to develop such a kind of product. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing the research work that has been carried for the last decade at this institute on the integration of plants with dairy components. Now I invite Dr. B.C. Ghosh, who is head of the dairy technology section at NDRI Southern Regional Station. Dr. Ghosh, please. He'll be delivering on application of milk-derived functional ingredients for food industry. Dr. B.C. Ghosh, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Raju. Are you able to hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, I just thanks to the organizers, and in particular Dr. Rajoria, who is my guide also, and Guruji also. During my master degree program, he was my guide, and we developed a gulab jamun mix powder that still Karnal is using that formula. It gives me an immense pleasure for that, and I have a still very good contact with Dr. Rajoria, and I also thank Mr. Man for giving me this opportunity to speak of this webinar. Well, now let us start with my presentations. This is the, now here is my presentation.
Sir, please share your screen by clicking that.
I will do it. I will do it.
Right, sir, right.
So this is the here. Now tell me how to share it. No, it's already shared. Already. So are you able to see that?
Not yet, sir.
Here. Here.
Presentation is not seen.
Here. Share the screen. Okay. No, what is it? No. Host disable the participant to screen. So, but what to do it now? Yeah.
बैटरी लो हो रही है ये रखा
क्या होगा घोष साहब?
अरे नहीं, अभी ट्राई तो कर रहा हूँ, नहीं हो पा रहा है। हाँ देखिए अभी हो रहा है, हो जाएगा।
Sir, can you send that slide through mail meanwhile so that I can try from here?
हाँ. No, actually our computer person has come now. He is doing now.
Okay.
With the AMC people, he is doing now. I think this is only now. See, this is this one. No?
I think you joined with another link, sir. So probably you may not have the rights right now.
हाँ.
एक बार PPT आप meanwhile mail कर दीजिए, sir.
PPT को. Okay. Then I have to just to wait 2 minutes. Then I will do it. Huh?
Okay, try, sir. Otherwise. Sir has relogged in, but somehow we are unable to see him. Sir, कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, sir. I think Dr. Ghosh is still facing some technical difficulty.
I think meanwhile, next speaker can be considered,
Dr. B. Ghosh sir was the last speaker.
स्टार्ट करते हैं देखो अब न्यू ड्राफ्ट में है
उनके पास राइट्स नहीं है क्योंकि उन्होंने ना
राजू अरे जी राजू हाँ 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 आई एम जस्ट सेंडिंग इट आई एम सेंडिंग इट हाँ आई एम सेंडिंग इट सर थ्रू ईमेल I have sent it, sir. I have sent it, and then it is going now because it will take time. No, please wait to send it.
Okay.
I think Raju might have received it. Sir, it is sent now.
just checking, sir.
Because you can deliver your talk even without those. Dr. Vikas, please deliver your talk. You can. Yeah.
So, Mila, sir.
No, not yet.
No, I have sent it to Raju.
Raju का ही देख रहा हूँ मैं. I am sitting beside him only.
And then, but it is sent already.
अब चालू कर दो ना.
हाँ.
ये start speaking तो हम यहाँ देख रहे हैं जैसे ही मिलेगा हम उसको लगा देंगे.
हाँ, ना, but then अगर दोबारा भेजना है क्या?
हाँ भेज दो अच्छा है क्योंकि फिर.
अरे 1 मिनट तक रुकना पड़ेगा ना, सर. Anyhow, sir. No, but I think it is a.
Sir, you can start extempore meanwhile, sir.
Okay, sir. Actually, before my topic is this is applications of milk-derived functional ingredients in a food industry. In that, I have divided into 5 categories. First is a little introduction. There I wanted to show certain figures which is very important to show that of how it is increasing and all. So that I wanted to show. But since the slides are not, I think if it is, Raju, are you able to do that? Raju?
Slides not yet received, sir.
Again, you have not yet received. Huh?
It takes some time to reach 5 minutes, I think.
So meanwhile, you can look at your slides and start extempore, sir.
That is, no, that I am doing it, but because this is because of certain figures are there, you know. So now in the dairy ingredients, the market size is approximately. Oh, it is market size is up to 2013 to 2024. It is expected is $86.97 billion. That is the dairy market size. And then dairy presently 2000 up to 2015 it was a 13.7 million tons of the dairy ingredients are used by the different organizers of the food industry. Now there are different types of key health trends. See, in 2010, whatever the key trend was there, so now in the 2020, it is different. We all talk about the functional food, but now the trend is naturally functional or organic, naturally functional. What does it mean? Mean is that when you talk about the functional foods, like suppose you need a vitamin C, you can take some tablets or something else. But now the trend is you should get an orange, which is more of a vitamin C. So when you take the orange along with the vitamin C, some other fiber or some soluble fiber and something else, you will get it. So that is the trend. That is the trend we are getting it. We must work on that. Then carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, it is from the very beginning only, carbohydrate was also there. Now it's a good carbohydrate. In good carbohydrate, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and the fibers. Now sugar, it is still low or reduced sugar. Digestion, that is in digestive wellness. In that, there is a probiotic, prebiotic, symbiotic, and then fibers. Low fat, we always say that fat, low fat. Now, the reborn, fat is reborn. Now people are not afraid of this fat. USA research and all says there is nothing harm on fat. Now in another form it is coming, fat reborn, that you take unsaturated fat, olive oil, okay, omega-3 fatty acids, oily fish, nuts, all these things are, even doctors also telling that you must consume it. That means fat people want. Now more fat. Protein. Protein is a plant-based proteins, which is also said by Dr. Singh. Now on this only, we have to work on that. Finally, the ingredients, dairy ingredients, whatever we have said, that there are many opportunities, and then according to that opportunities, we have to take our stand. First of all, we must know that what is the food requirement is there. Now, average, let me start with the, hello, you try one more time, you just try. See that? So one more time, he is also trying. Raju, you got it? Raju?
No, sir.
Still you are not, because without that it is a little difficult. I will just see that again.
No, sir. We are constantly looking at the mailbox.
No, because in the junk mail also you can see that.
Okay.
Oh, sir, you may give your email ID and password to him. He will get it from there direct. Then you can change your password.
Directly, sir, I have given to him. I do not know why he is not getting again. And our person is also standing here. He is not able to do that. I do not know what is that. What is that you are doing now?
To rejoin again, probably it will come. Rejoin again. It will come back.
No, I think you can check in updates or junk. Definitely it will be there. Updates, yeah, sometimes it will go to updates also without going to junk. If it is not in inbox, definitely it will be in junk or in updates. Updates, you click it, definitely it will come.
Sir, we have checked it, sir. We have checked it. We have not yet received.
Oh, updates also is not there?
Yes.
No, sir.
Oh, junk and updates, both you try alternately, it will be there.
So, sir, you give your email ID and password to Raju secretly, and then change your password later on.
अभी देखो अभी करो इतना बात करने के बाद भी तुम करने
I'm downloading it through the link that you have just now sent, sir.
You got it? Yeah. No, but I do not understand why you are unable to get it. Why you are not able to get it?
Yes, sir. I received your slides. And
then you just present it.
Hope you are looking at the slides, sir.
That's all. Okay, go ahead. You have to do it
quickly. Try to complete it quickly, sir.
Okay, now you go ahead. These are all I have said already.
Okay.
Quickly, you just pass through. This is all already. This is all. This was already I have covered. This was I was telling. These are all the things. This is okay. This is again the functional foods and all. This is the milk components. This is everybody knows. Then go ahead. Now milk constituents and health benefits. When we talk about the previous. So previous one. This is the milk constituents. There is actually whenever you take as such milk, then when you use as functional, that means you have to hydrolyze it. You will get a bioactive peptides, then branch chain fatty acids. Then the acids from the whey proteins, then short and medium chain fatty acids, MUFA, PUFA, all these things you will get it. Milk sugar, when again this lactose is hydrolyzed, then you will get a functional components like the galacto-oligosaccharides. Of course, the minerals are also because you cannot do it any hydrolysis, nothing. Okay, next. So these are the things. Yeah, and that in the milk fat components, these are the CLA. It is a very important components which is only present in the milk, and that too a milk with the ruminants. Okay, and then all other compounds it is there. Then whey protein, casein, these are all as such they are also useful. And also when you hydrolyze the whey protein, then whatever the functional components or functional ingredients, you will get it product. So that is to be used for a food preparation. That is my topic. And then the other milk components. Next. Raju, next. Now starts with the milk fat, and then as I told you, this is a CLA. CLA again, it has a tremendous activities like anti-obesity, immunomodulating functions, then influence of the body compositions, reduce the LDL cholesterol, which is also one of the important aspects, anti-carcinogenic, and then anti-diabetic. Next. Oh, it is how I have not. When you hydrolyze the fat, more fatty acids you will, that formations will take place in the cheese also, you will get a flavor that after hydrolyzing that is also a very good thing. Development of also off flavor. If it is not controlled hydrolysis, then you will get off flavors. Then coming to the protein hydrolysis, that is you will get a bioactive components, all that is called bioactive peptides. This many functions it has. It is also having anti-diabetic, immunomodulatory effect, opioid, mineral binding, then anti-hypercholestemic effect, antimicrobial effect, antioxidant. On that aspects only Dr. A.K. Singh has talked about that on the phytochemicals, and of course anti-hypertensive. Next. This is the milk proteins. In the milk proteins, how it will be effective. You see that when these milk proteins accurately suppresses the triglyceride response in the body, chymolykin micron rich fractions in type 2 diabetic activities. That means that proteins, hydrolyzed proteins on the milk proteins, whey proteins, they are also having definitely a health beneficial effect. And also peptide, they are also having beta lactoperfins also controls the abnormal blood pressure and lipid levels to solve the problems of the cardiovascular disease. Next. Now coming to the lactose. Next. Yes, lactose, these are on general health. That means it enhances the absorption of the calcium and magnesium. Those people are talking about the low lactose-free milk. That is not good for the health, because lactose also helps. It is scientifically proved, particularly for the children. That is why the nature has given mother's milk contains a lot of lactose, which help in absorption of the calcium and the magnesium. And then the lactose also as a substrate. Here also again the mother's milk, because mother's milk more contents of the lactose, that also is as a feed material of the prebiotic activities for the bifidobacteria and lactobacillus, which normally the presence in the intestines of the children, and also in normal persons also. This also helps in controlling the constipations. And then also this lactose containing the infant formula, it also having a 10.3% higher calcium absorptions than these with the lactose-free formulas. Okay, and then these, when you hydrolyze the lactose, next, when you hydrolyze the lactose, you will get a galactose and the glucose. Glucose, of course, you know that the body source of energy, and the galactose, it is also has a immunological properties. Next. Next. It's the galacto-oligosaccharides, that is which is hydrolyzed product of this lactose. You will get, again, I am talking about the higher calcium, magnesium absorption. GOS is also having the bioavailability, also it is improved, and then it also acts as an anti-carcinogen. Next. Next. Then it comes to the lactulose. In the lactulose, then this is control on a chronic constipations, controlling the salmonella colonizations, and then inhibit that dehydroxylations of the primary bile acids and experimental animals, and then exert the antitoxin effect and anti-carcinogenic effect. The lactulose, which we will get it from the lactose. And minerals, of course, as I mentioned to you, the calciums, which is a maximum content among the mineral in the milk, it has a tremendous influence on the reducing the blood pressure, And different studies also have indicated that there is an inverse relationship between the dietary calcium and the blood pressures. Next. Raju, next. Again, also as I mentioned to you, the dietary calciums or the LDL cholesterol, which is a bad cholesterol. Then the other milk-derived ingredients, these are the very important. This is a calcium, folic acid, vitamin E, iodine, immunopeptides, that is the protective against the cancer. Caseinophosphopeptide, again, it is a derived product, that it is a functional product from the protein obtained on hydrolysis. It has a very good work on this promotion of the calcium absorption, mineral absorptions. Okay, and then it also prevents the dental caries. And then, of course, there is a lactoperoxidase that is also prevent the dental caries. Next. Next. And lactoferrin. Lactoferrin, it is all, of course, lactoferrin. Lactoferrin, it is all known to you that is also have a very good impact on your digestive health. Bioactive peptides, as mentioned to you, the lowering of the blood pressure, immunological properties, whatever the present in immunoglobulin, that also have a prevent the gastrointestinal infection, the dental caries, and the lowering the cholesterol. Galacto-oligosaccharide, just now I have mentioned. Of course, the lactic acid bacteria, which normally we use for the probiotic products or the dairy fermented product, which is also having a very good impact on your health, digestive health. That is a healthy growth, and then gastrointestinal infection is reduces, and the immune activity. Next. This is what why we need that. What are the factors expected to benefit the overall dairy ingredients market? That is, one is the population's starting age. That means aging populations are increasing, increase the health issues. Different types of health problems has been arised in the present day situation. Better awareness about the benefits of the nutritious and the food products. Many people now started knowing what is that food content, what is the nutritional effect, all these things, better R&D production, and sluggish lifestyles. These all the things are the factors which actually benefit overall market to increase. Next. These are the dairy ingredients market. The drivers, as I said, that rising population and urbanization, and then rising consumer awareness toward the nutritional food, improvement in the supply chain management, the types, these are the types, milk different types by application, pediatrics, sports nutrition, medical nutrition, functional food, bakery and confectionery. Here only we will talk something about the applications, and of course in the geography. This is the application. Next. Next. Yeah, in that, yes, no, go back. Here we will talk about this infant food. Okay, infant food, medical nutrition, support of the nutritional product. Okay, sports, particularly the sports nutritional product, functional food and bakery and confectionery. Next. Next. This is the infant formula. That is just to give an overview that where we have 20s, and then it started somewhere in 70s. Okay, 1700, and now where is the change? Change is now the long chain unsaturated fatty acid has been introduced. This cholesterol has been introduced, and then there is also then probiotic, prebiotic, and then all these things are incorporated. There are certain prebiotics like oligosaccharide, galacto-oligosaccharide is the very common thing to be added, and also the partially hydrolyzed protein is also being incorporated just to overcome the allergenicity of the protein for the infants. Next. If you see that in 80s, taurine, okay. Now, that was the medicinal and then medical nutritional products. This is nutrition. If you talk about the nutrition, here is also from these milk ingredients or dairy ingredients, you will get approximately this type of nutrition, and this is the meals replacements of, okay, you will get a weight loss effect on that. Diabetic, it is a present days, it is an alarming situation, and diabetic is also can be controlled through the hydrolyzed milk proteins. Now people are working on it. Even our institute, we are also working on that, how best we can hydrolyze, through the hydrolyzed protein, we can control the diabetic occurrence of the diabetic disease. So the renal diseases, here also it has been used. Then energy drinks, in the case of energy drinks, mainly this has been used for sports, and then also when you hydrolyze or towards the partially hydrolyze, control hydrolyze, your digestibility will improve. Easily you can digest. You see, partially hydrolyzed products is having a better digestibility because of its hydrolysis. Some of the proteins, they get hydrolyzed from through the hydrolyzed, and then digestibility improves. Similarly, the lactose digestibility also improves. Okay, next. Next. Raju? Well,
Yes, sir.
We are just talking about the health effects. This is the health effects of the probiotic, which is known to you. This next. Next, Raju. Bada golmaal hai. I should have done it like this. This is some of these probiotic products which is present in the present days market, Yakult, and then comes to the Yakult, you will be knowing. And then adult nutrition. In adult nutrition, what we are talking about, that the medical, therapeutic, and nutrition products for the malnourished people, renal disease, diabetes, and for all these dairy ingredients are very much effective. Okay, then in the performance and nutrition products, the recoveries and all these things, previous. Anyhow, okay, the nutritional products, yes. Then of course, health living products. Okay, then you can manage the health proactively and preventive diseases. All these things you can manage. Next, Raju, because some more slides are there. Time is going. Okay, the nutritional products, in that healthy adults, physically active sports enthusiasts, this is the, through that product you can get it, that is called sports nutrition products, and many things are available. I will show you some of the figures. Adults with the disease that require nutritional formulas, particularly the elderly people, geriatric food, Dr. A.K. Singh has mentioned the geriatric foods where they have a poor digestibility. In that poor digestibility conditions, you are better to give a partially hydrolyzed product like a hydrolyzed protein, hydrolyzed lactose, which will help them for easy absorption and digestion. Of course, children, again, the children with the dairy products, particularly the probiotics, they also having a good impact on their health. Next.
Dr. Ghosh, highlight only important points.
Okay, next. No, because here Raju has a control, so I have to just. Again, here the adult, we said that muscle energy. Okay, these are the things that to grow protein continues to grow in importance. Okay, next. These slides we have. This is the way for athletes, which is already in the market. You know that they can again the sports performance, different types of sports performance, protein, high protein diet containing the leucines and all these things. The nutritional products, that is the fortified with the purified free amino acids. With that also you will get a better performance with that type of. This is all from the derived from the milk constituents. Next. Lactoferrin, there is also, that is the another technologies very emerging nutritional need. Lactoferrin very much important. Then biologically active proteins are found. These are also, just now I have mentioned that the diabetic, to prevent the diabetic activities, there are also, it is effective of different types of a protein, particularly the beta lactoglobulin. If you hydrolyze, even also beta casein also, they also produces lot of bioactive peptides which will have a definitely impact on this health, particularly in preventing the disease of occurrence of these diabetes. Okay, next. Health claims, colostrum. Colostrum is again, it is a, as you also know that, it is a highly immunoglobulin properties are there. Growth factors are involved. That is why the infants, they need the colostrum. And then, so these are the things. Lactoferrin contents are also more, and then protein contents. These are the, but it is a lower in fat content. Carbohydrate content are similar to that of the mature milk. So this is the colostrum. Now in FSSI, there are a lot of applications we have received because I was in the functional group. There also people want, colostrum is beneficial for the children or for the infants, but for adult nutrition, these people are trying for that. Colostrum powders are available, and hydrolyzed protein, they have a angiotensin converting enzyme, they have an anti-hypertensive activity, and then
may conclude within 2-3 minutes, please.
Oh, okay. Next. Raju, quickly go fast. All right. This is some of the companies. Some of the companies, they have the different USA, and they are producing and then selling to the market, and which can be also partly incorporated into the. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, next. These are the companies. Yes, commercially available products in India, mainly probiotic. These are the products as a functional food. Next. Yes, now, wait. Skill required for the future dairy technocrats. This is knowledge about the functional food industry and the ingredients. This is very much essential. We should know that, and what ingredients, in what way, how it should be affecting in your physiology. Of course, in man-to-man varies about the physiology, but generally how it will affect good manufacturing practices, and then quality control, advanced instruments and knowledge of operations. You should have it, that you should be knowing that, yes, this is we are getting this product. Calibration of the equipment, membrane technology have a less effect. The advanced spray drying, dry blending of technology, then high hydrogen, that is HPT, high PPT, okay, high pressure technology, where actually there is a less denaturations of the milk, okay, constituents or vitamins and other things due to the severe extent of the heat during the boiling or maybe other treatment. Of course, the other two are not very much important. Next, Raju. Yes, regulatory consideration. Scientifically now it has been proved the potential health benefits of the functional dairy ingredients. That is being scientifically proved. Dairy foods and ingredients have a significant potential vehicle for the delivery of such a bioactive and health promoting physiological effect if regulatory hurdles can be overcome. Because there is, of course, there is a partly regulatory hurdles are there. They want that whether this scientifically proved or literatures and many things should be there, then only it will come as a standards or regulatory measures will be taken care of, particularly for India FSSI, because we have also seen previous one. Yes, then regulatory, this is also, of course, this is a country-wise the market and their products will vary. So accordingly, you have to modify or incorporate the products. Then finally here, as such, there is no guidelines for the use of a functional dairy co-product as per FSSI. Of course, there can be a regular guideline, there can be a possibility that proprietary food, you develop such an ingredient that can be used as a and incorporate in the food as a proprietary food. Next. Next. Yes, FSSI notification is FSSI previous to that FSSI notification previous to that FSSI has enforced Raju previous to that yes here functional food and health supplements they it has enforced this is the number and in the, from the January 2018 in functional food they have also defined but they mainly defined probiotic and prebiotics and they have also measured that how you can judge it that judging is all this evidence is 15 years of safe effective use in India on other countries it is like that the 30 years all these things if you know that there is that can be called as a functional food okay that is the clearly it is mentioned in their notifications okay which is now enforced from the January 2018 now next conclusion. Coming to the conclusion, conclusion, last. Hello, Raju, conclusion, yes. The clinical studies which I have mentioned that it has an impact, that metabolic syndrome, okay, chronic metabolic syndrome, that has a power to reduce weight also, blood pressure also, it can have a control, dyslipidemia and hyperglycemia, then fermented products, of course, no doubt exert the health beneficial. Therefore, processing of the hydrolysis or milk ingredient provides extended health benefits than the milk constituents. Definitely, if you hydrolyze that is called the functional dairy ingredients, they have a better impact. Okay, they definitely will enhance the incorporations. This innovative research will enhance the dairy and food industries to incorporate and to prepare varieties of the foods. Okay, then thank you. Next slide. Okay, then thank you. Then before I close my presentations, I need to present special thanks to Dr. Kanuja. Special thanks for always he remembered me and always helped me. I know him since 1981 when I was a student at Karnal. So we had a good year. And then thanks to also Dr. Raju. Finally, he could able to show my slides. I thank all and I all thank to the Indian Dairy Association North Zones, all the persons involved in organizing this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Special thanks to several of the viewers who have been witnessing this in spite of the technical difficulties. Now I request Dr. G.S. Rajoria, sir, for his concluding remarks before the formal vote of thanks.
I think all the presentations have been excellent. We have expected there will be a good outcome, out of this 2 hours presentations. There are always, problems in new generation technologies that we have witnessed on the last speaker, Dr. Ghosh. Never the case. These eventually do arise. Perhaps COVID came between Karnal and Bangalore, and but your presentation was good. I think this is the kind of activity we think Indian Dairy Association must do in all the chapters and zones across the country. This was a specially developed program for dairy technologists, for those who are working in dairy industry. So far, we have been largely talking about, animal production and reproduction problems. This was an excellent presentation made by all of you. I thank you, and we will publish a good report on all these presentations in the Indian Dairyman, a monthly journal of Indian Dairy Association. I would like to thank on behalf of the Indian Dairy Association, all the office bearers of the North Zone, all the office bearers of the Karnal Haryana State Chapter, and also some who have shown interest in attending this conference. The subject was open for across the country, and we have also sent this information to those in other parts of the world who might have witnessed, the presentations of our learned speakers. Thank you very much, Dr. Kanodia and Dr. P.N. Raju, for organizing this wonderful conference, this seminar. This is one other opportunity that this COVID-19 has given us, that we assemble, we talk without even a cup of coffee or cup of tea, and even a glass of water. So without any expenditure, except that we have to pay, some fee. But hopefully this is coming out to a very good technological innovation in the present time. Thank you all very much. And Mr. Sukhveer Man has enthused a lot of you. That was a time perhaps when the students, if they listen to his talk, will like to look for setting up, their own kind of entrepreneurship, their own projects. Man is one example in this country, a good example of a dairy technology graduate having established a big, business activity with the $500 million, or maybe now it is more than that, because you can see how in 1.5 years time slot, in 5 months, he has been able to achieve the target of constructing an excellent building. And maybe one of these days, when everything becomes normal, we'll have a conference like this at his, newly established factory in Bhiwadi. So thank you very much, Mr. Maan. You have to give blessings to all your, state chapters. And I have requested Mr. Narang to witness this activity, because it is okay that Punjab chapter had done it, Rajasthan chapter have done it, now Haryana chapter have done it. Now it is your turn, Mr. Narang, to organize an excellent seminar on any subject of interest to all the dairymen of the country. I'm particularly happy that I see Mr. A.K. Jain listening to this, deliberation. So perhaps he is also another good example of how good business houses can be run efficiently and effectively. And as usual, our Dr. R.B. Singh is an excellent orator. You have all seen him, and we wish him good luck, and hope he will be able to continue to provide his leadership to the entire dairy industry of the country. Thank you all in one. And I do see Vijay Kumar Gupta ji, our own colleague. He has been, active, participant in all the activities of the Haryana state chapter. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay Kumar. And maybe that many of our students who have not appeared on the scene from different parts of the country have witnessed this wonderful presentation. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind to all of you. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. As just Rajoji sir mentioned, even people from US and other countries also witnessed, I could see some of the participants who are living abroad. Without taking much time, I really thank the speakers who have agreed to deliver their talks on this important topic on health as well as sustainability. And I also thank our office bearers of the Haryana state chapter, as well as the IDA North Zone, as well as the IDA headquarters for giving us the permission and the required support to organize this webinar. And of course, the participants who have joined from various, through various sources, maybe through YouTube or Facebook or even through the webinar Zoom link. I really thank everyone who joined this webinar and made it a huge success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. I'm ending this session, sir. If there is anything else, the formal session webinar is over now.
Okay. Congratulations, Dr. Kanodia, and thank you, Dr. Rajoria and the team. Excellent seminar, honestly very informative. I think for me, normally it becomes very difficult to sit for 3 hours. I can't sit even for movie. But today I sat for 3 hours quietly. I had a coffee and now I'll go for lunch. It's very informative, very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.